I always talk about how underrated Longines is, and today we're taking a look at a fantastic watch that I never really handled in person up until I got to make this video. It is a beast of a chronograph, although it measures in at only 42 millimeters. It feels extremely substantial and extremely well made. And that is why I love Longines, because they offer such good quality for the money. This is the Conquest Chronograph. I have one hands-on. So let's flip the camera and take a look at a chronograph that I absolutely fell in love with. The way I would describe this watch is badass. This is just a badass chronograph from Longines. It really does look so good in person. This is very high quality. In hand, this feels like a beast. It's only 42 millimeters, but it is just so heavy. I'm not sure what they actually put into this watch, but if you like a watch that feels substantial and really well made, you have to check out Longines, specifically watches like this from the brand. This gets a ceramic bezel, but you could see there is a lot of depth from that bezel to the dial. You have applied indices. There is a green ring that goes around that dial. That is textured. Then you have these green subdials. So this is a green panda, I would call it. And you have a silver dial. Those indices sort of straddle that minute track, which is in silver, and that track that is in green. It looks so good and everything matches really nicely. Then you have this eye-link bracelet on here that tapers so much. Look how much that tapers. It's obviously inspired by vintage watches, but this is a thoroughly modern feeling and looking chronograph. You have a double push button enclosure on the back here. That's probably my only complaint on this watch. You do get 100 meters of water resistance. There's nothing wrong with this enclosure. It's just I'm not a huge fan of them. I would have preferred their on-the-fly micro-adjust clasp instead, but you know, that's personal. You get to see the movement. The movement is really good on these watches. They are very decorated. There's perlage, there's Geneva striping, there's a custom rotor. I think this one is called the L898. It gets 59 hours of power reserve. I think this is based on the, I want to say it's a Valjoux base, but I believe this is actually based on like an ETA 2892 with a module on top. So I believe it's a different style of chronograph from their normal chronograph base, which is of course a Valjoux movement. You do have to close one side before you close the other. That is also a little bit annoying with clasps like this, but that's what they went with. This also gets like slab sides. So you have this polished side on either side. It's really chunky and heavy feeling. Like I was saying, just a very substantial watch in hand. But it's really not all that substantial. This actually measures in at around 42 millimeters. So just over 42 millimeters at the bezel and at the case, which is surprising because it does visually have more presence. 14 millimeters thick and around 49 millimeters lug to lug. That is a true lug to lug because the bracelet does fold down perfectly at those lugs. So you have female end links. On wrist today, I have another watch that is carried by Exquisite Timepieces. This is Nevada Grenchen. This is one of their latest releases. This is a racing version of the Chrono King. So you're getting a racing dial in a green color, interchangeable bezels, which are awesome. Just a really nice watch that is very affordable because it does come with 5 bezels in total, which is pretty incredible. And there it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. Now you guys know I do not shy away from a large watch. This wears and looks larger than its dimensions. You can see that on my wrist. This is a 42 millimeter and change watch, but it definitely does not wear like that. You get 100 meters of water resistance, a screwed in crown, screwed in case back where you can see that movement, which looks really good. It's 14 millimeters thick and you have a 49 plus millimeter lug to lug, but it wears like a 44 millimeter watch in my opinion. And because it's not sized to my wrist, if I move my wrist, it will fall to one side or the other because the case is so heavy. So you need to have this fitted to your wrist very well. Otherwise it will shift on your wrist because the head of the watch is so heavy. But with that being said, it is a spectacular looking watch and it feels spectacular on my wrist. There you go. Lume is okay. It's decently applied to the hands and the primary indices. There's just dots for the non-primary indices. But other than that, I think it's decently applied. This, I would say, is a dressy chronograph, but it's really not. It's somewhat of a sporty chronograph. You're getting that 100 meters of water resistance as well. It's just a big, bold statement on wrist. I've seen these on other people's wrists with bracelets. It looks really good on the bracelet, but I think this looks really good on a strap as well. I highly recommend getting it on both because I think this looks great on a strap. You can see that the lume is fading fast. You're not buying this for the lume, obviously. You're buying this for the looks and that wrist presence. If you like that, you're gonna love this watch. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.